I think we're recording, and here is the basic overview of this project that we're going to do. So, building on Professor Daly's focus of artificial intelligence and how it applies in your specific major or career or field of interest, I've tried to take what she had and develop something that is a clear project that will build on what you've already done. So, theoretically, you've already done some things in this way. You've hopefully already done the pre-research for the librarian module and the in-depth research that Monica put together that helped you figure out how to use and use the library databases in a more meaningful way, find sources on artificial intelligence. Those are pretty standard, helpful things. So hopefully you've already developed both of those, and I think that means you should have 6 sources. If you haven't done that for whatever reason, you can always go back and I'll make sure that those assignments are open if you needed to go back and redo those to get the points. I understand that they were closed off at first. Anyway, here's the basic thing. We want to look at the impact of artificial intelligence in your major career or field of interest. So to help you with that, first, I've provided you an overview of the fields of interest that Maricopa offers. There is a video that MCCD has created for its students to figure that stuff out. Now, for you, maybe you have a really clear vision of what your field of interest is. Maybe you're not so sure. So if you wherever you fall, it may be easier for you to focus on maybe a specific class that you've already had or are currently in, and consider some of the implications of artificial intelligence or even machine learning as it applies to or how it showed up in that class or its impact on that class. So right now we're still in kind of what is the topic at this point. So we're not even to what you're actually doing or the main point. But there's artificial intelligence. You can also look up things like machine learning. So I've provided some resources here. I went and used the CGC library resources to Gale reference, Gale ebooks to find a source from hers Field 2005 on a definition of artificial intelligence is the field within computer science that seeks to explain and to emulate through mechanical or computational processes some or all aspects of human intelligence. That's pretty cool. And it goes on and says some other cool stuff. You can read it. To add some depth to artificial intelligence, there's a step along the way. Sometimes this is called machine learning. And so Franceschetti, 2006, helps us understand that machine learning is a branch of computer science algorithms that allow the computer to display behavior learned from past experiences rather than human instruction. So this is kind of a step along the way. So these are 2 concepts you can consider the application or impact of for your career, your major, or your field of interest. And you can look at it from the perspective of a specific class you've taken or a specific topic, area of study, that kind of thing, your discipline, your field of interest. You can use the CGC website field of interest page and look at some of the classes or look at what careers they say that major or that field of interest or that pathway or that degree impacts, and use that as a starting point or a trigger as well. So your actual mission, all that's background. Yes, there are fields of interests or disciplines or careers. Yes, there's this thing called artificial intelligence or machine learning. We'll actually use some of the meme discussions to dig into some of the ways that that applies to writing and language. And so hopefully I've embedded enough moments where you can say, like, how is this artificial intelligence, or how does language, or how do writing systems, or how do writing technologies apply to this thing, machine learning or artificial intelligence, for your specific field or discipline or area of study. So your actual specific mission is, for this project, you will continue researching the impact of machine learning and artificial intelligence on your major, your career, or your field of interest. Your final project, end of the course, May 18th to 21st or whatnot, your final project should make a well-supported claim about this impact, convincing us of the potential benefits or consequences of machine learning or artificial intelligence for your major career or field of interest. So you can be positive, you can be negative, you can be somewhere in the middle, but you need to make a clear claim that is supported by evidence and is continued thought all the way through your paper. And there are a variety of ways you can do that. I do have videos on basically building an essay and on the thesis statement. So if you're struggling with any part of that, you can check out my YouTube channel for more resources. So with that, you should sustain and develop this claim and your evidences steadily throughout the essay. So some basic requirements: you're going to be using MLA format 8th edition because that's what she said. You will have in-text, and you should do that both in citing sources, formatting your paper, both in in-text sources and in the works cited, which should link. Support your argument using at least 6 to 10 academic scholarly resources. Hopefully you already have 6. Be sure when you talk about these sources that you provide context, analysis, and application of the source and that in-text citation so we know that you're borrowing information from someone else. Embed at least 2 to 4 images throughout your paper to enhance the various parts of your essay or your arguments or to reinforce an idea. Create a clear central argument statement or thesis that ties all the various parts of your essay together, and then turn in all drafts along the way. And you can see Canvas for specific details, but basically it's a draft a week for the next 4 or 5 weeks to help you build steadily toward this goal of 1,950 to 2,200 words, basically 2,000 words. Again, the English 102 course usually requires a minimum of 4,000 words. So this is kind of where that's all building toward. The meme discussions will provide some of the others, and I know you've written some kind of mini papers along the way. So all that together to make sure that you get what English 102 was supposed to do. So that's the basic introduction. If for whatever reason this still doesn't make sense, as always, you can text me or Canvas message me as needed. If an important thing, if you are doing research on this, or if you're writing toward this project and you get frustrated, upset, confused, or stuck, or are fighting with technology for even only 10 minutes, immediately text me, use the Ask a Librarian function, contact Monica for help with research, or me, whatever. But if you're stuck for more than 10 minutes and you're confused, frustrated, upset, or whatever, you have some sort of negative emotional response, immediately send me a text message. Let me know. If all else fails, I'll give you a positive, encouraging word saying, you can do it, si se puede. Or I'll say, why don't you try this? Or maybe, because sometimes it's just a real simple thing that's part of the learning process and you haven't quite learned that yet. And that's okay. That's why you're learning and not teaching, and you're in the process of being a student. That's okay. So don't stress it. There's work here, but it's not supposed to be stress. It's not to leave you distressed or anxious or frustrated or confused. That's not the purpose of the class or the assignment. So let's move forward. That's all I have to say about this. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever.